Hello guys, this is Ahmed from CoderUp. In this video, I'm going to be demonstrating how we can use SSH protocol to control from one host to another. As you can see, I have two virtual machines up and running. One is called client, the other is called server. So in this video, what we're going to do exactly is connecting to the server host from the client one. So first of all, before we start, let's just print the IP addresses of both machines. So I'll just explain everything now. Let's just print both of them. So as you can see, we have three interfaces. The first one is called LO, which stands for local. This is actually the interface for that machine itself. It's a local host and we cannot use it, like only the machine itself can use it for itself. The other one is the NAT interface. We're not going to be using this one. We're going to be using the third one, which is called bridge. As you can see, the first machine has an IP address of 192.168.0.120 and the other one .119. So what we can do to actually connect to this machine is go to this client and write SSH, the username that we're going to be connecting to. As you can see, my username on the server side is called Ahmed, so I'm just going to type Ahmed. And then the IP address to which, like the IP address of the virtual of the host machine. So it's 192.168.0.119 and we hit enter. So what is this fingerprint? Each host has like a fingerprint to confirm that it doesn't change. So how can actually a server change? Well, we don't know a server, we just know the IP address of the server. So what if this server got turned off, another server turned on, and like it's a different machine already, but it got assigned to the old IP address of this server. So now we have an IP address of a server that like does not exist anymore because another machine like sits on the other side of the connection. So what is actually the fingerprint? The fingerprint is like a hash that identifies the machine that we're connecting to. So in the case that this machine has changed, the hash changes, so we know or identify that the machine on the other side of the connection has changed. So for here, all we have to do is just hit yes, that we confirm like creating one, and here we type the password of the remote host. So like the remote host, I mean like the server machine, and I hit enter. And as you can see, I'm now in Ahmed at server. So this is actually the other virtual machine. If I hit IP address show, like IP address show, is showing the IP address of the other machine because I'm connected to it already. So this actually was the first part. Now I'm going to be demonstrating how can we access the other machine only using public keys. Public key authentication is actually more secure than password because due to the complexity of the breaking the algorithm. So to do so, first we have to create a public and private keys for the connection, and this is done by using SSH keygen command, and here I'm gonna pass like the T flag, and I'm gonna pass to it an RSA, which actually a hashing algorithm. So this is the algorithm that I'm gonna be using. And also we need to identify the byte, like the amount of bytes of this key, how long it's gonna be. I'm gonna identify like 2048 and hit enter. Now it's asking me where I want this to be saved. So I want it to be saved at home, ahmed.ssh, and call it server. Hit enter. It's asking for a passphrase. A passphrase is a phrase that you are actually have to type to access this key every time you open your machine, but this actually course is for illustration purposes, so I'm gonna leave this empty and hit enter again. As you can see, it's created. So let's already check. I'm already in this home directory, so if I made ls in the SSH directory, I can see server and server.pub. Well, server.pub is obviously the public key, and what we're gonna do is put this public key on the server and keep the private key on our side. So like to not get confused, the private key should always be on your side. The private key is like on your local machine, while the public key is on the server on the internet. So to do so, like to send this server key on the other machine, there's already a command called SSH copy ID, and here we pass the first flag, which is I, and here we specify unfortunately it doesn't have autocomplete, so I have to type everything. I have like, this is the key that we're going to be using, and the other machine is Ahmed server. This is the well, it's not called server, we have to type the IP address of it. So now we hit enter, and probably I made a mistake. Server.pub, no such a file. Well, maybe you don't have to specify. Well, like, no way. Of course, because it's located at, no, like, we have to specify the flag, but I forgot a dot before the SSH. Now it should work. Yep, as you can see now, it's asking for the password of the other machine to send the key there. So I'm gonna just hit the password of this machine. And as you can see, number of keys added is 1. That means that this key have been passed to the other machine. So to prove that, we go to the other machine, to the directory.sh, and we hit, as you can see, it already has a file called authorized keys. So let's see what's there. So actually, this is the public key that we have sent from our old machine. To confirm this, we go to the client machine and actually get the same public key, which is actually called server.pub. As you can see, it's the same key. So now what's left is actually to turn on the public key authentication and disable the password, so that only we can connect to the host machine using public key authentication, which is more secure. To do so, we go to the server side and we just open this file using sudo nano, which is located at etc ssh, and the file is called ssh dconfig. This is actually the configuration of the SSH protocol. We hit our password for sudo, and as you can see, what we have to do is just first uncomment this line, public key authentication, and it has the parameter yes. This means we're gonna be using public key authentication, and also disable password authentication is gonna be at the end. Yep, and here we just need to say no, so that our system, our host, only accepts public key authentication. So hit S for save and X to close. Now what's left actually is to restore the SSH server to actually like re-render or like reconfigure the new settings that we have changed. So for this, we like type sudo systemctl, which stands for system control, by the way. And what's left, yeah, we're actually going to be restarting, and we're going to be restarting the ssh.server. We hit enter, failed to restart SSH server service. Because it's service, not server. Well, now if you try to connect to this machine now by typing SSH Ahmed at server and hit enter. Now as you can see, well, could not resolve hostname, yeah, because I typed the hostname. We should type 192.168.0.119 and hit enter now. And as you can see, it's showing permission denied because we need a key to access this host. So to do so, all we have to do is just specify the key using the -i command and the key itself. So we type SSH. This is the key directory, and the key, as you remember, like now, since the machine has the host has the public key, we need to authenticate using the private key. So here we're just going to be using server, not server.pub. So now I hit enter, and as you can see, I've connected to this machine. And to confirm that we can only access by using public key, I'm gonna try to connect to this machine from my local one, like from my main system. SSH. Okay, I have autocomplete on this terminal, so I'm gonna hit enter. And as you can see, well, this is another bug because the fingerprint has changed. As you can see, remote host identification has changed because I've connected to another machine with the same host before. So, well, it does not show the error, but as you can see on the old one, on the old terminal, it didn't pass. It didn't actually give us the possibility to enter password. Once we didn't specify the public key, it already failed. So this is actually the confirmation for this one. And this is actually everything for this video. Thank you guys for watching and see you on the next one.